I'm Joshua Parker, known as DJ Parker, and this is Unique Beatz Studio. You're here for another Parker radio show.
Hey everybody, let's go. I'm hoping that you're ready for another episode. You know we play that music in the UB studio. And now it's time to welcome everybody to the Parker radio show. Everybody, let's go. I'm hoping that you're ready for another episode. You know we play that music in the UB studio. And now it's time to welcome everybody to the Parker radio show.
How we doing out there, everybody? We're here for another Parker radio show, here live at Unique Beatz Studio. With special thanks to our nation's finest, thank you for your service. Want target relief fast? Now you can enjoy the best-selling One Less CBD Tropical Inflammation Cream. Get yours for free, plus shipping. Limited time offer. Go to www.onelesscbd.com/UB-radio. Welcome back to another episode of the Parker Radio Show. It is September 1st, and we've got Iowa's best-kept secret. Isn't a secret anymore. He's found on all major platforms, performs country, rock covers, country hip-hop, as well as originals. He was featured on the chart-topping album at number 7 on iTunes for The B Tapes from Orchard. From the fields of southern Iowa, Chris Heaton has exploded into the country scene as a feature on a number 7 record on the charts, The B Tapes from Orchard. With a decade of experience behind him, he and his following graced stages across Iowa and Missouri to increase his brand. After his debut release, his new project will hit platforms this fall. You can book Heaton today for your next show or private event at Heaton on Facebook. And let's give Chris Heaton a big warm welcome singing Proud Boys here on the Parker Radio Show, powered by Unique Beatz.
Working pipelines and in them logwoods from sun up till it fades. We shoot our guns and stand for our flag, cause that's how we were raised. Don't back down, we don't start no trouble, but if it comes, brother, we ain't running away. Raised in the Bible Belt by a Bible in a belt made in the USA. We them proud boys, never back down, boys. Always got your sticks when the shit goes south, boy. Them homegrown small town boys that you can count on. Yeah, we them down round boys. Yeah, we're the kind that you call when you're falling on hard times. Kind that I brawl, man, it don't matter them bloodlines. Ain't gotta walk it, we talk it. Catch us cropping or stalking. All of the food that we eat, no need for Walmart or Target. Nah, keep that scope on a handed down rifle for long range. Daily paying our dues and refuse to be shortchanged. But you got a scratch on that ride? Here's some spray paint, and anything broke on it can be mended with duct tape. On a lunch break, eating leftovers from supper. When life gets tough, we get tougher, cause we just some tough mutters. Yeah, tell it how it is, and there ain't no need for a buffer. So let us do us, and you do you, mother. We them proud boys, never back down, boys. Always got your stick when the shit goes south, boy. Them homegrown small town boys that you can count on. Yeah, we them down proud boys. Born and raised, and I'll always stay in the
Let's start off by telling us a little bit about yourself and how you came to love music.
I've been playing music for 16 years. Started when I was 19. I used to sit in my cousin's basement all the time. Yeah, extracurricular activities, and he plays the guitar. And one day I asked if he wanted to sell it. He said, yeah, I'll sell it. I bought it after that. I played for a long time, made a lot of people mad for a couple of years, but eventually I figured it out. Right? Some guys were just come back from California. They'd recorded an album with Brian Wheat, Tesla. They come back from the studio and the bass player quit, and they said, hey, you want to play bass for us? And I said, I never have before. They said, well, you'll figure it out. And yeah, that started a 2-year stint of touring in a rock band, and I mean, we had a great time. I think one of my favorite bands we played with was a band out of California, an old 80s band called Bang Tango. Joe Les, their lead singer, was the coolest guy. He was real upfront, easy to get along with. But we did that for a while, toured with bands like, I played with Tesla, Skid Row, Megadeth, and it was a good time. But yeah, I was telling you before we got on the air that it just didn't pay the bills, so I had to get a real job and started doing cover shows after that. I did that for quite a few years, started going to school, and it didn't fit what I was doing right then, so I took a break. I had a little girl pass away about 5 years ago. It kind of brought me back to my roots, playing music. It's what made me feel comfortable, so I started playing music again and started getting out playing shows. The end of last year, I was playing a show in a little dive bar. I realized I was bored of what I was doing. I needed to do something different. So I decided I was going to write music, and I started writing a few songs and met some of the right people, and I got an EP put together, and it's getting ready to come out. I'm super excited about it.
So what are some of your first memories as a singer, and was there a particular artist that you idolized at a young age?
Oh, at a young age, yeah. So my aunt, before she passed away, she loved Rob Thomas, the whole Matchbox 20 thing. Watching Rob Thomas from then to now and what he's done and how he's handled himself and the way he acts, really got a lot of good things to say about that guy. He's probably one of the funner artists I've listened to. Been trying to go see him for 2 years now, but for 2 years, the show's been canceled.
Oh, wow. So from that age until now, how has your influencers in music changed, and who are your major influences currently?
My influence has totally changed since I was a kid. I remember sitting on the toilet in the bathroom trying to write country music when I was 7 or 8 years old. That's where it started. So I get older, and around 18, 22, I was listening to rock music. I was into that. Against Me, I listened to a lot of Against Me back then, punk rock. And it's weird how my music influences broaden and change to where they are now, because today, I get a lot of influence from, like we were talking about earlier, Struggle Jennings, that guy's music, and how the stories he tells. Charlie Farley, the stories, I love the stories that go into their music, and that's kind of what I've been trying to do with my own music.
Going into the Struggle Jennings, I know you had featuring number 7 on the iTunes charts for B Tapes with Adam Whitehead. Can you tell us a little bit about that?
Yeah, that was a real fun song to do. I got to meet some cool people doing that song. He called me back in February and said, hey, I want to do this hip hop track. And he's like, I know you kind of do some of that, and I was wondering if you wanted to help me out with it. I said, yeah, perfect. So he got me and a guy from Fort Dodge, Jesse Wilson, on this track, and we went in, recorded it, and anticipation. We waited the longest time. We all pushed it best we could. At the end of the day, it sold about 1,000 albums pre-sale and came out number 7 on the iTunes charts. And unbelievable. I mean, I'd have never thought I'd do something like that.
That's totally awesome. And I do believe that song was Billy Booteen.
Yeah, Billy Booteen.
And that was on the B Tapes from Orchard, so you can take a look at that, listen to that there. And since the beginning of your music career, what kind of training have you been through to get to where you are now?
Boy, I'm pretty self-taught. I tell you, I took lessons one time when I was in my early 20s, but it's hard to take lessons from anybody after you're self-taught. And the guy turned out not to be all he said he was. So really, everything I've done to this day. I've kind of taught myself. I'm a good listener by ear as far as playing music. I'm pretty simple in what I do. Don't call on me to play lead guitar because I'm not your guy, but if you want a good rhythm, I'm there.
What were some of your most memorable performances and what made them so memorable?
I think the biggest one I've done to date was probably when I opened up for Against Me in Milwaukee. We played at the Rave or the Eagle Ballroom. You know, to be on stage in front of 2,000 people with giant lights in your face, the worst part of it, the story, yeah, the plot thickens. We had played with Bang Tango the night before and at the House of Bricks in downtown Des Moines. My bass guitar got stolen from me right out the back door. It sucked. So I always played a 4-string bass, and we go up to Milwaukee in front of, like I said, 2,000 people playing a 6-string bass guitar. You're stupid to them other 2 strings because they're useless to what you're doing. And I remember messing up a few times, that drummer throwing drumsticks at me. And I remember taking my shirt off and throwing it in the crowd, and I just went wild and put on one heck of a show. It was a blast.
Would you rather perform in front of a big crowd or a smaller, intimate setting?
I'm way more of a big crowd. I like the big crowds, the excitement, you know. It's one of those deals where the more people you got, the more into it you are. But then again, you know, I played with, 30 people, throw their backs towards me, and I played for 2,000 people waving their hands in the air. I prefer a big crowd, but I'm not partial. A fan's a fan.
So if you could perform anywhere with anyone, where would you perform it with, and who would you want to perform it with the most?
A tough question. Probably one of the funnest songs I've ever heard that I kind of cover a little bit, and it's kind of off par, but Alien Ant Farm. I'd love to perform these days with Alien Ant Farm.
And could I ask you why?
Because if you've listened to the song, seen the video, the song is just, it's an amazing song. If you listen to the words, you get it. But what caught my eye was that video. If you've ever seen the video they made where on top of the building across the street from the BET Awards, they sneak upstairs, they set all their equipment up, and there's actually a true story behind this. See, they set their equipment up and they just started playing this song out of nowhere, and they draped a giant Alien Ant Farm flag over the building. And the story went, they actually played this song, I heard, 6 times before the police made it up to the top and stopped them.
Wow, that's interesting. I never noticed that.
Yeah, and the video shows all that, and then I looked it up, and that's kind of what I found. But yeah, there's video of Joe C. Remember Joe C?
Sure do.
They got video of him down there with his arms in the air, and he's just loving it. Say the guys from D12 were the same way. They was down there loving it.
That'd be awesome to see. So besides music, what are some of your favorite pastime activities, hobbies, or interests that you enjoy doing?
Oh, I'm a river rat. We like getting in our all-terrain vehicles, go mudding, drink beer, grill out. We're backwoods boys, so we stay pretty calm for the most part until the sun goes down.
And then it's time to cut loose.
Yeah, yep.
So fan interaction is an important part of being an artist and most rewarding. Any stories you have about fans that stood out to you? Maybe a first autograph story, maybe the first time some fan noticed you in public?
I got a real good one a couple weeks ago. I played a show up north from where I live, probably 4 hours from me. The town only had a population of 120 people. That's how small this place was. But there's probably 200 to 300 people in this town when I played this show. And I get done. These 2 little boys came up and found these guitar picks that I had dropped, and they asked me, "You sign this for us?" I signed their little guitar pick. Or the time I went, I took some old boys from down here where I live, and we put together a little band, and we went down to southern Missouri. There was a little boy that had an inoperable brain tumor. So a biker group was holding a benefit for him. And we went down there, and we all signed a drumstick for him, sat and ate dinner with him. Amazing feeling. Amazing feeling.
Tell us how you like to interact with your fans and what you have coming up here in the future that fans will enjoy.
I love interacting with fans at shows. I love sitting down, talking with them, hearing their stories, where they're from, what they do. I really want to push that I put out an album that comes out tonight, actually, midnight, south of 92. is a little EP I put together. Features a few great songs on there. Backyard, Proud Boys is my favorite one on there. It's kind of an ode to an old boy going to work and taking care of your own, what that's all about. And that's what life's all about nowadays. Things are crazy, and you got to count on the ones around you to get by.
You got to keep your circle real tight-knit circle.
Absolutely.
So I want to thank you so much, Chris, for taking your time out to do the interview with us here on the Unique Beatz Radio. You're a great new addition to the lineup of artists, and we're honored to air your new song, Proud Boys, here on the Parker Radio Show. You can find out more about Chris Heaton at Heaton on Facebook for updates, concert, and events.
This is D-Shot Renard, and you're listening to the Parker Radio Show. It's that home with the good stuff, home with the new music everybody wanna listen to, so tell me what you really gonna do. When we got DJ Parker on the ones and twos, D-Shot on the beat, so you know we can't lose. Check me out on Instagram at D-Shot Renard, and also check out D-Shot_1 on TikTok for some more daily raps and freestyles.